Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear facing, forward facing. I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
They'll challenge your authority. They'll try to break your will. They'll push you to the edge of your sanity. Because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, not theirs. Defend it. Who makes the payments? Who cleans it? Who drives it? You do. That's who. And in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch. Until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first, behind the bench. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait.
All the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it. Dwight Clark.
You're tuned into Game On with Josh Silverberg.
Game on!
Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. It is a Friday, a feel-good Friday here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Game On, joining you every Friday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Thank you so much for listening, tuning in. Again, if you want to listen to myself and other great shows we have on here, check us out on our free app. If you have an Apple or an Android, go to the stores, type in WWSRN. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch, as well as hearing Speedy stories on all weird things that we'll ask him, of course, on Snapchat as well. You can check that out. We are on worldwidesportsradio.com. Well, it's interesting. I had a whole script here today. A whole rundown of what I was going to do. Snug, I'm sorry to hear that every day is the worst day of your life. I thought maybe I'd make it a little bit better, but I guess not. And what I say about this script is that script is out the window because we had a lot of different unique news today in regards to that. Speedy will be with us again. Of course, he's producing the show. Of course, we can never thank him enough for what he does. He will be back next Friday with me to do our Super Bowl prediction. We'll get a little bit more into the Super Bowl next week and all that stuff. We've got a couple of topics we're going to get to. A little bit about Tom Brady, of course, and him retiring. Do a little Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers conversation. Where do we think they're going to go? Where are they going to end up? All of that. Bo Horvat, a New York Islander. What do I think of that trade? And why is February the most dull time if you're a sports fan? Check that out. Plus, we'll do a little Royal Rumble recap at the buzzer beater and so much more. We're going to do a little bit differently now. So the rundown's going to be, we'll be on 6 to 6:20, take a breather, 6 to 6:40, breather, and then 6:40 to 7, we'll finish straight through. Speedy and I were talking, and we think that's going to be the better way of doing it and so much more. But, of course, we got to get to, we'll do a quick rundown of what's going to be started first. Of course, number one, Kyrie Irving and why he's a nutcase. We'll discuss that a little bit on why Kyrie Irving has decided, hey, he wants out, and there are already teams that are interested, and why the Brooklyn Nets have to trade him. We'll get into the Brady stuff and the quarterback situation, and then we'll get into the Bo Horvat trade and the February conversation about sports. But we'll get right into why I threw my script on the floor. Usually I have a script. And I tossed it aside after I got the news that, as everybody else did, if you were living under a rock, if you've been living under a rock, Kyrie Irving. Of course, also, by the way, you could call the show as well, 631-672-3108. Snug, you might be the only one that loves Kyrie Irving because he's an anti-Semite and a whack job. So let's get into it a little bit. Kyrie Irving. What happened? Well, the Brooklyn Nets were doing well. They were playing great ball. They got blown out by the Celtics. I believe they've lost now 10 straight games to the Celtics. They head into the All-Star break. And, well, no, it's not the All-Star break yet. They announced the reserves the other day to the All-Star break. The Speedy can confirm for me the date of the All-Star break of when and everything like that. There were no cats that were injured in the script toss. That is for sure. And everything of that nature. Kyrie Irving. He has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Again. Yes, again. When the Nets are playing well, when Kevin Durant should be back soon, we never know with Ben Simmons, but the depth has really stood out this year for the Brooklyn Nets. And the interesting thing about Brooklyn is this. The question is going to be, where do they go? What do they do with Kyrie? Do they trade him? Do they try to convince him to stay for the rest of the season and try to see where they go? Or do they not trade him at all and let him just sit out the rest of the season? Because he's not going to play another game for the Nets. Clearly, what has happened is the Brooklyn Nets have said to Kyrie, we are not going to give you a max contract. We're not doing it. You need to finish out this season with us. Kyrie was not happy about it with Joe Tsai and Sean Marks. Thank you, Speedy. The All-Star break is from February 17th to the 22nd. So, and everything of that. I hope that Kyrie Irving, Richie Incognito, and Antonio Brown all host a podcast with Kenny as a guest. That would be interesting. Listen, I saw Kenny's show that day. I saw a guy with a bathrobe on. So I love that. That was unique in its own way. But getting back to about Kyrie Irving. Here's the thing, and I need to discuss this with everybody. Are we that surprised at this point about Kyrie Irving and what he's all about? Kyrie Irving is all about Kyrie Irving. Even when he was doing the whole anti-vax thing, he was trying to fight for the people. He was still getting paid. Okay? That's the facts. He was still getting his money. If he really wanted to support the people, he would have not have gotten paid. This just took me out. This took, I think, a lot of people out of left field. I know people are going to say, I'm not surprised. It's Kyrie Irving. This is what he does. This is how Kyrie is. Why is he like this? Because he's crazy. He's nuts. He's a whack job. He's about himself. And you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me, oh, well, Kyrie, he's only doing this because the Nets aren't giving him a max deal. Listen, the Nets are playing good ball this year. They now have the depth. They were playing well. Clearly, they're not as good. I don't even know if they're as good. I can't say if they're as good as Boston right now because they don't have Durant. I still think they're better than the Celtics. I think with Durant, I think they could be just as good as Milwaukee. They're better than Philly. All that. And instead, Kyrie's going to go, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done. And the teams that Shams has put out is the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, the LeBron connection. The Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic, which would be interesting because Luka needs the ball in his hands. I don't know how Kyrie's going to feel about that. And the Phoenix Suns, which is unique because we've heard, I think the Suns are starting to maybe prepare to possibly trade Chris Paul and everything like that. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, to me, have to just take whatever they can get for Kyrie at this point. And I know it stinks. It's the worst thing in the world for them because with Kyrie, he's worth a good amount of with his value. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Kyrie Irving is one of the better players in the game of basketball. He's a head case. He brings drama. He wrecks locker rooms. And he's all about himself. This is what Kyrie's been. This is the same guy. All right. This is the same guy that went out of his way to want to be traded out of Cleveland because he didn't want to be in LeBron's shadow. Then he went to Boston, had a great situation there, and ruined that. And now he's on the Nets with Durant, and he says, he's now asked for a trade, I believe, 3 times now? I've lost track. And now you wonder the question, how's Durant going to feel about this? How is Kevin Durant going to feel about Kyrie asking out? Is Durant going to go back again and do this whole, I want to be traded too? Somebody's going to trade for him. People are saying nobody's going to trade. Somebody's going to trade for him. Now, he's never going to get a max contract again. And if you give Kyrie a max contract, and I've gone on record as saying this, you get what you deserve. Again, somebody will trade for him. Are the Nets going to get the value that they think he's worth? They probably will not. Because technically, if you trade for Kyrie, you're getting a rental. You're getting him for the next few months, and that's it. We're hearing that the Lakers are trying to trade Westbrook, the Utah Jazz, trying to work on something there. And you wanted to try and open up cap space for Kyrie. But again, Kyrie started this whole situation where he didn't want to play in LeBron's shadow. Now he's going to go to the Lakers and play in LeBron's shadow again. Now, if Kyrie went to the Lakers, I think with the West being as open as it is, the Lakers are back in the conversation as being one of those teams in the Western Conference because you'll have Kyrie, you'll have LeBron, and you'll have you hope you have a healthy Anthony Davis. So again, the Brooklyn Nets are the ones that are getting, as I said, the Brooklyn Nets are the ones getting screwed in this. They're not going to get the value that Kyrie is worth, 1, and 2, this is going to ruin their season. Because Kyrie was playing really well, the Nets were winning games, and now this whole thing gets blown up again. And now you wonder if you're Sean Marks and you're Joe Tsai, right? is this even worth it at this point? What are you thinking if you're Jock Vaughn right now? You had everything going great. Steve Nash is out. Jock Vaughn comes in. They started winning games. They started playing good basketball. Obviously, Durant got hurt, but Durant should be back soon. The problem is, this is what Kyrie Irving does. He ruined a good situation in Cleveland. He ruined a great situation in Boston. And I don't know what to make of this situation with Brooklyn because this has gone on every single year for them. They started with Durant and Kyrie. Neither one of them played. Then Kyrie quit on the team in the bubble. Then the next year, he didn't want to get vaxxed. Then the year after that, he left the team for weeks to do his own thing. And now this year, he wants to be traded. So Kyrie Irving has brought something to the table in a bad way every year he has been with the Brooklyn Nets. And again, as I've stated, somebody is going to trade for this guy. The Brooklyn Nets are getting completely screwed in this whole thing. Because the thing of it is the Nets don't trade him for any type of value. He's going to sit out the rest of the season, Kyrie. Then the Nets get nothing out of this. And Kyrie sits out for the year, and the Nets don't get anything worth anything. Listen, what are the Nets going to get? I have no idea. Because you got to take on two things. One, Kyrie's a rental. And two, the draft compensation with it. Because are people going to say, is it worth bringing this headache with us on the team? Now, again, Kyrie will find a team. I just don't understand the concept of, with Kyrie, what he's trying to do. I understand he wants to get his max deal, but I just don't understand the guy. Did you really think the Brooklyn Nets, after all that you've put them through, you were going to get a max deal from them? Did you really honestly think Joe Tsai and Sean Marks said, yeah, we're going to trust Kyrie for the next 4 or 5 years. We're going to give him the max. Nobody in their right mind that has seen this would be the ones to do that. And the amazing thing is that Kevin Durant, when he signed with Brooklyn, he should have known what he was getting himself into with Kyrie's past. So I'm not going to feel sorry for Durant. The team I feel sorry for is Brooklyn. And I know everybody's laughing at them. Ha ha, now Brooklyn's going to stink again. And they are. They're going to have Durant. And that's great. That's fine. But not having Kyrie there it's a blow. So don't say to me otherwise that this isn't a massive loss. It is. It's crucial because this takes the Nets out of the Eastern Conference conversation. And I had them in that conference conversation about a week ago. I said the Brooklyn Nets, can they beat the Celtics? I don't think so. But I can tell you, the problem with the Nets is they're losing everything now. That's gone. And I said this from day one. Durant should have just stayed in Golden State. I said this when I was on Loudmouths with Arrow and Speedy. Durant should have never have left Golden State. He left a great, easy situation to go team up with this guy who has left LeBron James, who has left Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and is now leaving Kevin Durant. So he's left stars and superstars left and right. He had a falling out with James Harden. James Harden goes to Philly. James Harden looks like the James Harden from Houston again from 5 years ago. It's no coincidence. Ben Simmons doesn't ever play. I really do wonder what is going through the mind of Kevin Durant. Where is Durant in this whole situation? Is Durant now going to ask for a trade? Is Durant going to say, if he's leaving, I want out? Because I can tell you right now, I don't think they're going to get a superstar back in a trade for Kyrie. I mean, what do the Nets want? You want to trade for Russell Westbrook? It's not going to work. You want to trade for Chris Paul? Yeah, maybe. But the problem is that night, if you're the Suns, you're bringing Kyrie to them. To me, that's a slippery slope and a conversation that I think these teams need to have before they make this jump. Again, not denying it, Kyrie's a top talent in this league. But he's a pain to deal with. He has a massive ego on him. And that's the problem with Kyrie. It's always been his case. And he's sabotaging the Nets again every single season that he's done this. He did it in Boston. He did it in Cleveland. And you know what's funny is people say to me, why are you surprised? Because the Nets were playing well. That's why I'm surprised. Brooklyn was playing great. And then this guy decides to blow them off. Because Kyrie beats to his own drum. It's Kyrie Irving's own world, and he is the only one that's living in it. Because nobody else wants to. So you see, that's the problem with the Nets. They're stuck, and they're screwed in this whole thing. They're going to lose him for pretty much, I would say, almost nothing. You might get some draft picks back, but that's about it. You're not going to get anything else. And to me, that's a massive blow to Brooklyn and their chances for a championship this year. So this, what do they used to call it? They used to call it scary hour with Brooklyn, with Kyrie and James Harden and Durant. Not going to work. He could go think the earth is flat in L.A. That's what he could do. When we come back, we're going to get to some NFL conversation. We're going to talk about Tom Brady and his retirement. We are going to get into Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, the latest on what's going on there. And did Tony Romo have an intervention before the season about his announcing? I'll discuss that and why it so did not work at all. Right here on Game On. We'll be right back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Game on!
Game on! We're back.
Just
You're listening to Game On with Josh Silverberg.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back right here on Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Again, you can listen to our show and other great shows on our free app, WWSRN. Type it in on the Google and Apple stores, worldwidesportsradio.com as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. We will get to the Bo Horvat conversation after 6:40. We will get to all of that. We're going to do a little Royal Rumble stuff. We'll do all that later. Get to a little football conversation now. So, Lyle, you will get your Bo Horvat conversation at the 6:40 mark. The championship games. What did I think about them? Well, I went 0-2 this week. Speedy went 2-0, so the conversation is over. Here's the issue. The issue is the 49ers had no shot. The thing of it is when you're down to your fourth string quarterback, that's the problem. You can't go in there and expect to win a game. Once Brock Purdy got hurt, and I love all these takes from people. And by the way, I like Dan Orlovsky. The fact that he didn't have Joe Montana on his top 5 greatest quarterback list was egregious this past week. That was absurd. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is 2. I mean, geez, can you let the guy win more than one Super Bowl first? But the issue is, once Purdy went down, game was over. Done. We knew it. And the Eagles have had a great, easy run. They played a Giants team that didn't belong there, and they played a 49ers team that was down to the fourth-string quarterback, and then Josh Johnson got hurt. And then Josh Johnson got hurt. Brock Purdy they had Christian McCaffrey throw a pass. And we saw how that went. Disappointed in that. I felt for the 49ers because I was very curious to see how Purdy would do. And unfortunately, we never got a hold of it because he was 4 for 4 before he got hurt. Then you have the Bengals game. I understand what the rule is. I completely get what the rule is. Hold your whistle. I know, listen, he bumped into I know he extended his arm. Mahomes was going out of bounds. But the fact that was what decided the game on that play was brutal. In the regular season, fine. Regular season, fine. You want to call that, fine, but not in the championship game. But again, the rules are the rules. And this goes back to what Arian Foster said this week. Is the NFL rigged? I'll give props to my father, who has been telling me this forever. And I believe the NFL is rigged. I think all sports are rigged. Goes back to the referee in the NBA that went to jail because he fixed games. Now you're going to have all this talk. Reed versus former team, the Kelsey brothers, all this hoopla and everything like that. Then I got Jordan, guy on the Giants, Love, going out and insulting Nick Sirianni. Listen, I can't say Nick Sirianni either. He's a douche, Sirianni. The guy's going to the Super Bowl, and then to say he's an obnoxious coach, he's obnoxious, but he wins. Now, listen, Snug said the Eagles are a special team. Let's wait and see. And Snug, I don't have to bring my mom on the show to tell you how she's feeling. Listen, it is what it is. The 49ers lost. She's okay. She's ready for baseball. 49ers will be right back in the conversation next year. But that NFC Championship game was awful. Once Purdy went down, we knew where it was going to go. In the AFC game, it's a shame it came down to that. I was upset about it. I understand what the rule is. I just really wish the referees would have hit the whistle there. But it is what it is. The rules are the rules, so on and so forth. So you get Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl, which we will get into more next week when I preview the game. Speedy and I will make our picks and everything of that nature. Which now leads us to our next conversation, and that's in regards to the 49ers. And I thought a guy that would fit the 49ers really well next year, and that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady has called it a career. I don't care if you hate Tom Brady. You can't stand him. He wins all the time. The deflated balls, all of this stuff. I don't care. He is, in my mind, the greatest quarterback that I've seen play in regards to winning games. Is he the greatest regular season quarterback I've ever seen? No. Two guys I think of: Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers are the two best regular season quarterbacks I have ever seen play. Now, playoffs, you want to give that to Brady? Tip your hat to him. But to me, Brady is not the greatest regular season quarterback in football. And that was a big conversation this week from people. Peyton Manning changed, in my eyes, the way the quarterback position is. Here's the thing. To me, Brady is a person I respect. I couldn't stand him. I'm a Jet fan. We always lost to them. Actually, the Jets gave them fits at times too when they beat him in the playoffs. Remember in 2010? I still don't know how David Harrison scored an interception for a touchdown. But here's the thing. And remember what I said. The greatest regular season quarterback I ever saw. Not what the past is. I didn't really get to see Marino that much. So, Lau, I understand what you're saying. I didn't get to see Marino that much. The key is what I saw. Peyton Manning changed the way the quarterback position is made. That's the difference. Now, I'm not saying Brady isn't the greatest of all time. See, this is where you guys are missing the point. He is. He was clutch. He was a winner. He went to two different organizations and won. He never, other than the 1 year that he had when they were undefeated before they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, he never had an all-world, be-all, end-all amazing season. He had very, very good seasons and won MVPs. But go look at the regular season numbers of Peyton Manning. To me, Brady is, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time because of all the championships and the accolades and the accomplishments that he's done. And the thing is, people forget this. I think he only really ever had two wide receiver or two players that are going to be Hall of Famers that he was able to throw the ball to. That's Rob Gronkowski and Randy Moss. He had Deion Branch, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, Danny Woodhead. I'm not going to get to Aaron Hernandez. He had some good players, but he only ever played with two all-pro guys. Yes, Julian Edelman as well. I don't know if Edelman's a Hall of Famer, though. That's another conversation I need to have another day. But, if you want to do, Ben Watson. And then even the running backs he had, Kevin Falk, Lawrence Maroney. So he never had like the all pro players around him. Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski are the only two guys that are going to go to the Hall of Fame, I think, that played with Brady. That's the thing that makes Brady special. And that's what makes a good quarterback, right? Aaron Rodgers does the same thing. He makes players around him better. Those are what good quarterbacks do. And that's what Brady did. And if you want to be able to sustain that, That's how good you are. And that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady, in my eyes, is the greatest to play the game. Now, again, he's not the greatest regular season quarterback. But what makes him the greatest of all time is he was the most clutch when he needed to be. Brady in the 2-minute drill. You might hear my son crying upstairs. Brady in the 2-minute drill was as good as anybody. But to me, I think Brady will go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. And I have said this. I was a Joe Montana guy forever. Brady trumps him with winning those Super Bowls and everything like that. Let's get to the Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr conversation. We're hearing it all the time. Rodgers has come out and he has said, I will make my decision later, probably after the Super Bowl. He doesn't want to take away from the game. And then he went on to the Pebble Beach tournament and said, I will not play in San Francisco. So clearly, Rodgers still has a grudge towards the 49ers for not drafting him. I mean, look, if Aaron Rodgers went to the 49ers, you call it a wrap. You give them the Super Bowl at that point. Okay? Give them a Super Bowl. But he clearly has a grudge against them. You're going to have the Jets in the conversation. And by the way, I don't want to hear Joe Douglas is telling people around the league he's going to give this, this, and this. First off, Joe Douglas keeps everything close to the vest. Joe Douglas is a very private person. He doesn't share and divulge information to anybody. When I see what is happening in the news, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets could happen. The thing about the Jets is they have to do this. If you trade for Aaron Rodgers, you have a very short window. And if they want 2 first-round draft picks for him, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. That's not happening. Now, Derek Carr, to me, go look at the numbers the last 5 or 6 years. I've said them on the show. He's a near 4,000-yard passer almost every season except for this past year. He went to the playoffs last year when he lost his head coach in John Gruden and his number 1 receiver in Henry Ruggs, who went to prison. He went to the playoffs with Rich Bisaccia. Carr is younger. And the thing about Carr is I don't think he's going to cost as much because the thing is they're probably going to cut Carr and then you don't have to trade anything for him. Now, if you're the Jets, for example, say you wait out on Rodgers. Rodgers still doesn't have a decision yet. And Derek Carr goes somewhere. And then Rodgers in a few weeks says, yeah, I'm going to retire. Then the Jets are screwed. They're done. It's over. The Jets would be in so much trouble because the problem is, so you miss out on Carr because you were waiting for Rodgers. Rodgers says, I want to retire. I don't want to do this. And then that's it. You miss out on everybody. If you're the New York Jets, you need to be cognizant of the situation. And you need to realize, is what I'm doing, and if you're Joe Douglas and all them, you need to sit down and you need to say, is it worth the risk? Is it worth the risk of losing Derek Carr? And then if Aaron Rodgers retires, they have nothing. And by the way, Brett Favre, and everybody says Brett Favre, the Aaron Rodgers thing. Brett Favre was having a great season with the Jets. They were 7-3 on their way to winning the division, and then Brett Favre hurt his shoulder. And that messed everything up. And I believe if Brett Favre stayed with the Jets the next year with Rex, they're winning that Super Bowl. To me, if you're the Jets, I would go with Carr over Rodgers. I would understand why they would go with Rodgers, especially if they try to work out something to get Bakhtiari back in the deal. And the thumb, by the way, is not going to affect him. It's not. As far as other quarterbacks, Jimmy G, the problem with Jimmy G is injury prone. Lamar's not going anywhere. Ryan Tannehill, no thank you. Baker Mayfield, please. None of that. But again, I will say this. If I'm the Jets, I'm taking Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers. The years, the amount you got to give up, especially if they cut him, you don't have to give up anything. You just signed the guy. Go look at it. Go look at Carr's numbers in his career. I said that I'm on the show for you, Scott. I don't have them in front of me now. To me, I think, in my opinion, the Jets would be better suited for Derek Carr. My opinion on it, and I'm sticking to that. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little hockey, the Bo Horvat trade with the Islanders. Why I think it's a good trade, but there's one caveat that will make it a very successful trade. Because I changed my tune this past week. I thought about it more. I'll give you my reasoning and why February is a lull in sports. Do a little Royal Rumble recap as well. Don't go anywhere. This is Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Game on!
Game on! We're back.
Juicy Star!
You're listening to Game On with Josh Silverberg.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back right here on Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. By the way, it is freezing outside. It's going to be in the single digits in New York tomorrow. Horrible. Can't stand this weather. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, the app as well. Check us out WWSRN on the iPhone and Android. Check us out again, worldwidesportsradio.com, Facebook page, YouTube. We're all over the place. So get on there. Check out all the great platforms as well. You can listen to Arrow and Speedy yell about things, the Wise Guys, some betting tips, and you can listen about the Buffalo Bills. So much more going into it. Okay. I know we have somebody on the line. We'll get to them in a minute. Let me get my take on the Bo Horvat trade. I know everybody's clamoring about this. Here's the thing. And no, I definitely don't have a secret Brady jersey under my bed. Snug. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's thinking about that. That's funny. I was a little mixed on the trade at first. Bo Horvat's having an unbelievable season. I thought about it after a few days, and I said it's a very good trade. They gave up a middle six forward in Anthony Beauvilier, who had some good moments with the Islanders in the playoffs. They gave up Aatu Raty, who was arguably their top prospect. And they gave up a protected first, which could become unprotected the next year if they don't get it this year. Lou, and I've constantly said this about Lou, Lou is going to keep trying. He's not going to give up. This is what Lamorello does. He does this all the time. He always never gives up. And Barzal finally gets to play with a superstar player. Islander fans have been clamoring for that forever for Barzal. He's never had anybody to play with, really. Now he gets a stud in Horvat. They have to sign him now. They have to sign him now. They better sign him. And they have to make the playoffs now with this. Now, are they done, the Islanders? I don't think they are. I think they're going to do other things. Horvat's not going to hurt them. It's going to help them. I think they're better than Washington. Okay. We know the Metro is just unbelievable this year. Okay. You have the Hurricanes. You have the Rangers. You have Pittsburgh in there. I really thought at some point the Devils were going to fall off. They seem to be playing well. Vanacek's playing really well for them in goal. So the two wildcard spots are going to come out of the Metro. Okay, because the other division is locked up. It's Boston, Tampa, and Toronto. Now, Boston is still the best team. I think Boston is still the best team. And I think Carolina is still the best team in the Metro. This is going to help the Islanders. It can't hurt them in any sort of way. Now, again, they have to sign him. And maybe they'll get rid of other guys. Maybe they'll trade off Pajot or Palmieri or other things like that to get rid of that salary to sign Horvat long term. You're the Islanders. You make sure he doesn't leave the building. Thank you, Lyle, for your play-by-play on when you're staying and going. Appreciate it. There are a lot of people that want certain players gone. We know this. They need it. They need it done. The Islanders have to bring Horvat back. They have to sign him. Speedy, who is on the line that we got? And, well, hopefully they can hear me talk because I can't guarantee you it because we're still trying to figure out this sweater situation. You can put him through if you want. Let me know when he's on.
Whoever is calling, you're on the line. Hello?
I guess we lost him.
Hello?
No.
I think it's Is that James?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, James. What's up, man?
How you doing? I just want to talk about the Horvat trade.
Oh, go for it, man. Talk to me. What do you think? I know. So, for those that don't know, James is my neighbor and a big hockey fan.
Any Islander fan thinks this guy's going to re-sign with them, they're crazy.
Tell me why.
Listen, let's be real. Let's be real. Nobody wants to play for the Islanders long term.
But wait, hold on.
Right?
Can I play?
It's a little hard, but
James? Can I play devil's advocate with you?
Sure, go ahead.
And do it because you and I we talk Rangers all the time. You and I always. The thing of it is they have the goaltending in Sorokin, right? They have the goaltending that's set.
That's all they have is goaltending.
I
know that he this year I think he's playing above and beyond what he usually does.
Oh, he's having a fantastic season. He's having a great season.
Yeah, because he's a free agent. Usually they have really good years when it's a free agent season. But I mean, look at the other seasons. He's a good faceoff guy. He's not a top offensive center in the league. I mean, this year he's playing pretty good, but every other year, I think he was just kind of mediocre at his offensive stats.
I agree with you.
Face-offs.
But isn't that you can make the case?
I don't
you
know.
strike when the iron's hot.
They gave up a lot for him, and I don't think he's going to resign with them. I don't think. That's just my my opinion.
Well, listen, I completely understand your opinion for sure, but the thing of it is, and the thing Islander fans know this, and hockey fans know this about Lou. He doesn't quit. And I kept saying that he will never quit. The thing of it is, and I look at it like this too, you strike when the iron is hot. Horvat's hot right now. So that's what you do if you're Lou. You're trying to salvage a season that is trying not to go off the rails.
They might not even squeak in the wild card. And they gave up all this. Even they could be giving up a first rounder this year. I think it's conditional, so it's probably going to be next year.
It's protected this year, so it's unprotected next year.
And it's this year or something.
Yeah, it's protected this year, that it's unprotected next year. But you don't think, James, when you look at it on paper, that they could get past Washington?
No, no way.
Really? You like Washington still?
I like Washington and Pittsburgh still to make the playoffs over the Islanders.
Cool. You don't think the Devils are going to fall off?
I think the Islanders should tank and just go for Bedard. If that was
so you don't you don't think? Yeah, I was gonna. Let me tell you, that would make every Islander fan thrilled. I tell you, but you don't think the Devils are going to fall off?
Anything out of this Horvat trade? It's going to be forget it. Islander fans are going to burn down maybe the Nassau Coliseum. I don't know.
Yeah, the UBS arena, they're going to burn everything down. But you don't hold on. So you don't think the Devils can fall off at some point?
I thought they were gonna when they had that little losing streak around Christmas. But I don't know. They look like they picked it up again. I don't know. Devils. I look like they got a lot of young good guys. I mean, if they ever get any defense or.
And they got Hamilton.
Maybe. Vanacek looks good. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be like that every year, but I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I mean, they got Dougie Hamilton. That helps. Now, listen, he's not what he was in Carolina. We know that.
He's more of an offensive type.
That's what it is.
They need some shutdown guys.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, too, is how Carolina's good? Look what happened. They took Brent Burns out of the abyss in San Jose. They bring him to Carolina, and he looks like the Brent Burns from 5 years ago. And that's all you need
Brett
to know.
Burns is on my fantasy team, Brett Burns.
I know he is. Trust me. Before I let you go, do you want to tell the fans how I'm getting my ass kicked in fantasy this year?
I can't even tell them how bad you really are this year at fantasy. But
I don't know what's going on.
You know, it's a 6-player keeper league, and next year is all new year. So,
well, now hold on.
All over again. Josh,
now hold on.
Guy, I'm sure he'll pick it up next season.
Yes, I will. I
Thanks
promise
for
you, I
having me
will.
on the show, and
yes.
I wish the Islanders the best. I don't, but
you're so full of it.
No,
you're so full of it. You're not. That's not even true. You're so full of it.
It's good when all three teams are competitive. I like how the Devils are really good. So if they play the Rangers first round against the Devils, oh my, that's going to be a crazy series.
I can't wait. Well, James, I'll let you go. Go back to your kids and everything like that. Say hi to Justin and all the
I'm
all right, man?
outside in the parking lot right now waiting. So.
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
All right, man. Be good, James. Thanks a lot. That was James, a friend of mine, my neighbor next door as well. I agree with him to the standpoint of Horvat has never had this type of season. Speedy, you could come into the conversation because you're a hockey guy. Are you there?
All right, hold on. Let me turn my camera on. All right.
Thank you. All right. With the Horvat. Because, wait, is Errol around here? Because I know Errol's going to
he left.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Because I know that guy's going to come in here and start screaming at me up the wazoo about how I'm Islander hater, which is, Speedy, you know this. I am not biased towards any team. You know this. Mm-hmm. Correct? Yep. I'm very fair. Very fair. With the Horvat deal. And by the way, James heard me on the phone, which was pretty good. I thought that worked out pretty good. It's funny. Hold on. Before I get to my thing, Snug brought up Waffle House. I was talking about, because my wife and I were thinking of something. And I said, I want to stop at a Waffle House because I got to get the cheese eggs. I talked to her about that the other day. But now apparently Waffle Houses are so dangerous now. They're all over the place.
No insulting Waffle House. It's the breakfast of champions, a.k.a. Trevor Lawrence, quarterbacks that come back from down 20.
That's what I'm saying. Look, if Trevor Lawrence could go there after he wins a game like that, dude, anybody should go there. But let me ask you this, because you and I were texting the other day about it. With Horvat, okay? He's never had this kind of season. He's never had it. Do you think this is just him? And like James said, this is a free agency thing where he's picked it up? Or is this something that could stay on consistently with him? Because I agree with James a little bit. We've never seen him have this kind of year until this year.
Not from a goal scoring pace, because last year was his
He's
first
got 31
year.
goals, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, 31 goals right
That's
now.
crazy.
Last year was his first year over 30 goals. So yeah, from that perspective, you're right. He hasn't picked it up like that. But again, he's also entering his prime years. He's 27 right now. Last year, at the start of the season, he was 25. So this might be the prime of his career. And look at all the turmoil that Vancouver has had over the years, too. He's already played with 3 different coaches. He's only made the playoffs twice.
Well, JT Miller thinks he runs the place.
No, I know that. But still, nevertheless, this is not a team that's consistently stable by any means. And in a division that really hasn't been that good recently. It's kind of top heavy. Sometimes it's Vegas. Sometimes we've seen the Sharks. At the beginning of his career was Anaheim. Like it's not like the Central Division, which is very deep. This division has been very top heavy. Where
now you got what is it? Who's in the division? You got Seattle's there.
Yeah, it's right now it's Seattle and Vegas on the top.
Oh, of course. Why not the two
I think the
expansion
Kings
teams?
are the 3 seed with like a negative goal differential.
Yeah, the West to me this year is odd because there's no team that really has stood out this year. Even Colorado.
Yeah,
to me has kind of regressed.
I think they're in a wild card spot. Yeah.
And you know what's funny is everybody was talking about how Georgiev was going to become this big stud player, and he is what he is.
Yeah.
Okay, he is what he is. I said that forever. He is what he is, and that's the end of it. That's just how he is. Okay, they don't have Kemper in goal anymore. Okay, he's on Washington now, so that's gone. They don't have that anymore. Okay. Now I know Snug said Edmonton. The problem with Edmonton is still the same conversation we have every year. What is it, Speedy, with Edmonton?
Goaltending.
It's goaltending. Same thing. It's the same problem.
Yep, Jack Campbell.
Now they got Campbell. Okay. But Campbell hasn't been what Edmonton thought he was going to be. He's been getting better lately his last few games. I know that because he's on my fantasy team. As James alluded to, my fantasy team has been awful this year, which Speedy cannot believe that either.
Yeah, no,
my team,
we were describing at the beginning of the year.
I mean, it was real. It was wild, and I literally crapping off the rails at that point. That's what happened. I made so many trades lately. I got Jack Hughes in a trade in my keeper league. I got Hughes in a trade. Okay. I traded McDavid. Remember that trade? I got Pasternak. Then I traded Pasternak. I got Kachuk. I got Hughes. I got a third player. I can't remember. And I got Campbell in the deal for Pasternak and Aho. I got 4 players for 2. Okay, so I did that. But yeah, that's my take. Really quickly, I want to get to why February, and I want to ask you this question. I asked Errol this earlier. Do you think February is the worst time for sports?
Ooh, that is a good question. I would say it's the second least month.
What's worse than that?
I would say August, just because baseball right after the trade deadline is just still regular season, and I care more about the college basketball towards the end of the year than the preseason football games.
See, so my thing is, here's my thing. I will say February sucks, and here's why. You have the Super Bowl, and then that's all you got. You're at the end of pretty much getting close to the hockey, basketball people. The fans are done with it. They want the playoffs already. They're done with that. You have no baseball. Football's over. March Madness hasn't started yet. To me, the best months, I would say end of March, early April. You have baseball starting. You have March Madness. You have the hockey and basketball playoffs starting. You have the NFL draft. And then I like September, October because you have football starting, the baseball playoffs are starting, hockey, basketball starting, college is in full effect. February sucks in regards to sports. It's nothing. There is nothing. There's nothing to talk about, nothing to do. Look at this week, for example. There's nothing. We're not talking about anything. We're not even really talking about the Super Bowl yet. Because the guys aren't even there yet. And then next week's going to be a joke. Because all they do is joke around during next week and everything like that. You know, it's funny. With talking about football quick, did you see Tony Romo had intervention before the season started? About his announcing?
No, I didn't hear that.
He had an intervention before the year started. Yeah. And now that clearly didn't work out because Romo's been awful this year.
It's playoff times. That's not built for him.
No, but that's the thing, though. Is like where is this moxie that he has in the regular season where he had 2 or 3 years ago when he just came here? He was great. And now poor Greg Olson's going to lose his spot because Brady's going to take that spot with Burkhardt. And I feel bad because Greg Olson has been fantastic in the playoffs. Now Brady's going to take that spot. And by the way, Olson's not leaving Fox. Okay? Because he's not going to be the number one guy at CBS because they got Romo and Nance. So he's not going to be the number one guy there. So Burkhardt's going to be with Brady next year, which, I mean, geez. You want to talk about throwing a guy a bone. Boy, what is it, 10 years, $315 million they're giving him?
Yeah.
He's never done a game in his life. And he gets to be the number one guy. That's nice. Boy, that's great. Good for him. Good for you. This is why, the industry is hard to get into. Speedy, you ready to do my buzzer beater?
Uh-huh.
And there it is. Buzzer beater this week, the Royal Rumble. Very good show. Had a blast watching it. Speedy was shocked that I'm watching WWE again. I crapped on it enough the last 2 or 3 years. To me, the Royal Rumble was a fun show this week. We got to see new talent rise to the occasion. The road to WrestleMania is now beginning. I enjoy it. I like this time. And I'm going to say it. The WWE lately has been a better program to watch than AEW. I never thought I'd ever say that again. The facts. Ladies and gentlemen, check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com. Check us out as well on our app, Google. If you have an Android or an Apple, just type in WSRN. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Got to thank the fans, of course, for listening and watching every Friday right here from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, got to thank Speedy Petey, as always, for helping out, doing what he does. He's going to join us next week for some Super Bowl conversation and talk. We're going to break down some stuff. Speedy's going to be on the show a lot with me next week because I asked, because I said so. Speedy, did you get that? I said so. Okay? You're going to be on the show with me a lot next week, so be ready. Be ready to debate. Be ready to break things down. Mr. Analytic. All right? And everything like that. Enjoy the football this weekend. You can watch the NHL skill stuff. The All-Star game this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. This has been Game On right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm Josh Silverberg. Have a good one, everyone.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement.